Hell yes, I was excited for this. As a Stallone geek and a Rocky geek, I was ready to see the director's cut of Rocky IV, the one I grew up watching the most as a little kid. Okay, I love the hell out of Rocky IV. In so many ways, it's the perfect 80s movie. It's got damn near everything that you need. Stallone, the Cold War, revenge, robots, montages, Christmas. I love how over-the-top and unapologetically crazy it is. Makes sense, I also love the movie Over the Top. When it comes to Stallone's new director's cut, you can tell his primary goal is to try to make the movie a bit more grounded, as much as you could possibly do with Rocky IV. Sure, it's not going to be as down-to-earth as 1 or 2, but at the least, kinda tonally along the lines of 3. This Rocky IV isn't just the same movie but with extra scenes. It's a near entire re-edit. Even a lot of scenes that are from the original are re-edited with different takes, or they may be trimmed, and the movie uses both the Vince DiCola music while also bringing back Bill Conti's score from the other films. For the most part, it does succeed at making it feel like a very different film, but it isn't one that replaces the theatrical version for me. Some themes are still there, such as the politics of the time, a story of ego, about a midlife crisis, about regret, but ultimately this does feel more like an editing experiment than it does a full movie. There are a lot of scenes from the other version taken out, and the newer scenes are definitely cool to see, and if you've seen Rocky IV as many times as I have, you'll notice where something's missing, where a line is cut, where a line is different, where a scene cuts away earlier than before. But even if I watched this and had never seen Rocky IV, it would still feel like there's scenes missing. The flow to it is very random, and many scenes don't feel like they're naturally progressing to the next. It makes it feel like you're watching a work print and not a finished film. Granted, a very good work print, but still a work print. The movie opens with not just the fight from Rocky III, but a lot of Rocky III. And at first I thought that was just filler, since the director's cut is still only 90 minutes. But since now the first scene in Rocky IV is Apollo in his pool watching Drago on TV, you did need those opening recaps with Rocky and Apollo's friendship to have something to lead us into this story. Drago's given a few extra lines here and there, but poor Seiko the robot is out entirely, which ultimately gives Paulie very, very little to do in this version. Now, it had already been announced that the robot would be gone, but what about the montages? Are they still there? Yes, they are. No Easy Way Out is still in the movie, there's still Burning Heart, there's still Hearts on Fire. You'll notice some differences, but as a whole, the montages are intact. When it gets to Russia, a lot of it plays out a bit similar as it does in the other version, except for one major change. Okay, so you know how Rocky arguably ends the Cold War in the theatrical cut? Well, here, not only does he not do that, but I think he escalated tensions severely. The other one had the Soviet premier and his aides standing up and clapping for Rocky. Here, when Rocky gives his "everyone can change" speech, they look pissed and they stand up and march out the door. I'm pretty sure it's Rocky that leads to the events of the day after. It does still feel like a Stallone movie though. Instead of Eye of the Tiger being at the beginning, it's at the end. And the end credits this time are black and white still shot end credits that you've seen in other Stallone movies like Rocky V, Last Blood, and Lock Up. Like I said, I'm glad I saw it as a fan and as a curiosity factor. Probably the craziest thing that's still left in the movie is that it's still there when Drago lifts up Michael Pataki by his neck. It's a hard thing to grade since I kind of feel like I'm just watching an editing challenge. But as for entertainment, curiosity, seeing some 40 minutes worth of new footage, and Stallone's respect for his characters, I'll give it a B, but I would still love to see a theatrical release of Workprint 5. Thanks for watching, everyone. Where have you always ranked Rocky IV amongst the Rocky films? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.